In this next section, you'll be setting up and drilling the rear board. We'll do this in the same fashion that we did before. We'll drill the top holes first and then we'll drill the bottom holes. Take your rear board and turn it so the tail fin is facing forward. Now measure 6 inches from the cut end of the board. Mark a mark with your pencil in the center of the board. Now draw a line horizontally across the board on the 6-inch mark. Make sure the line is straight. Position your hub on the marked line center. If the hub is not mounted straight when the axle is inserted, your bike will pull to the left or to the right. You want to make sure that you've got your hub centered on the rear board. When you have the hub in the correct position, trace the outline of the hub and the 4 holes on the hub with your marker or pencil. After you've got the board marked in the correct position, you can prepare your drill with the 1/4-inch drill bit. Remove the assembly and position rear board with the top up on a drilling block. With your power drill and a 1/4-inch bit, carefully drill out the 4 holes that you marked on the board. After you have the 4 holes drilled, flip the board and change to your 3/4-inch drill bit. Next, we will drill out the countersink holes for the T-nut fasteners. It's important that you don't drill all the way through the board in this next step. You only want to drill about an 1/8 inch or so. Carefully with your 3/4-inch bit, drill a hole almost to the halfway point in the board until you hit a change in layers. You can clean the holes free from debris with a screwdriver or a knife. The rear hub stack will consist of tube gasket 3, riser 2, tube gasket 4, and then hub 2. Next, carefully hammer the T-nut fasteners into the board bottom, one at a time. T-nut fasteners should dig in and recess into the countersink holes. The board bottom should be smooth when you're done. When you have the T-nut fasteners inserted correctly, flip the board and get ready to assemble the hub stack.
We're going to lay down our first gasket that we made on top of this. Then we're going to follow that by our spacer that we made from cutting the leftover piece that was in the center of the snowboard. Then we're going to lay our second gasket on top of the riser, and then we're going to lay our hub on top of that. And that will be the order that we'll have those arranged. Now we're going to remove these again slip your bolts through the hardware hub, like so. Then we're going to take our next layer of gasket, we're going to insert that onto the hub. Like so. Then we will take our riser, align that with the holes in the hardware hub. And you can push that through like that. See where our holes come through there. Like so. Then we will take our final piece of gasket hardware, put that on there like that.
Carefully place your hub stack riser assembly on the board top, aligning the bolts with the T-nuts. Be careful not to knock out the T-nut fasteners. Push down on the top of the hub while using your fingers to start threading the bolts in. Then with your wrench, carefully tighten the bolts while pushing down on the top of the hub. Tighten each bolt one at a time, compressing the riser between the two gasket layers. T-nut fasteners will dig in from the bottom and compress the riser between the two gasket layers. Check to make sure that the board bottom is totally smooth and the T-nut fasteners have recessed into the countersink holes. For this next section, we'll be inserting axle 2 into the rear hub. Take axle 2 and thread on one of the bearing nuts partially. Position the axle centered on the rear board and thread the other bearing nut on the other side. Tighten the bearing nuts so the axle's centered on the hub and the board. With your wrench, tighten the bearing nuts to the exact width of the frame. The axle will slide in the frame dropouts. Install 2 washers on each side, followed by the end nuts. The rear frame dropouts will sit between the 2 washers when tightened and pinch the frame.